Hello, welcome to Model 6 of our Executive Voice course, Strategic Communication that can accelerate your leadership. So, we have seen a couple of things, and this is finally Module 6. And before we dive deeper to Module 6, let's discuss a few things we saw in Module 5. So, in Module 5, we're looking at what are the things that you can start doing that can lead to your promotion. And we've seen that you have to be able to communicate the solutions to the problems that you were able to find to your senior managers and directors, and why not find those CEO if that's your direct supervisor. And when we saw that when you begin to do all of these things, you begin to have some result, you begin to drive some result, which strategically position you for leadership when it comes. So in Model 6, we are looking at phrases that get you promoted, right? What are the things that you begin to do that gets you promoted? And so we frame it in 4 different segments. So the first part is we're looking at leadership and ownership. Okay? What are the phrases that demonstrate excellence in leadership and ownership? For instance, statements like, I noticed that there was a problem with our sales pitch, and immediately I tweak it, and the speech I delivered yesterday got our first client. Let me say that again. I noticed that there was a problem with our sales pitch, and I tweak it. It means that you edited it, you adjusted it, you just supported it, and because of that, you did the pitch yesterday, and we got our first client for the month. What that means is that you've demonstrated ownership. You do not ask for permission from your supervisor, from your director, from your manager to actually authorize you to tweak the pitch. But you went ahead because you saw that was a problem that was at stake, and there was no time to waste. You immediately tweak it or corrected it, and then pitch it to the extent that you already got a client. That demonstrate ownership and leadership. That alone gets your name into the book of good records in the company. And when there is an opportunity, they are looking forward to people who solve problems and report them rather than people who complain about problems that have not been solved and do nothing about that or wait for some approval or authorization from the supervisors to do that. The second kind of phrase you want to think about is a phrase like, something happens. And so you say something like, well, I acknowledge it was because I failed to report on time. It was because I failed to communicate on time that this happened, and which I actually feel like I'm the cause of all of this chaos that has happened. And I essentially I essentially apologize, and this will not happen again next time. Wow. Did you hear that? You, most of the time, you acknowledge the problems that happen, that you are the faults. Great leaders, they acknowledge that they are the fault, but most of the time they're not actually the fault. It's someone else's negligence that led to that problem. But when you just come and acknowledge as a leader or as a team member that it was because you failed to do X or Y or Z thing, everybody's like, wow, you're taking responsibility. At the same time, you're taking ownership about the whole thing. And just the fact that you acknowledge that that was your fault, it speaks a lot about you. And next time, they want to give you the position, the possibilities, the permission to lead because you have taken ownership. Okay, you've taken responsibilities. You're acknowledging faults that are not even your fault. That is a sign of an exceptional servant leader. That's a sign of somebody who wants to serve the people. All right. So that was it for leadership and ownership. Let's look at the second quadrant, which is for strategic thinking. Strategic thinking. I noticed that our growth rate dropped down, and I was able to analyze the data and I came out with some ideas for my analysis that can help us pivot or scale up. Okay, think about that. So remember, we're talking about strategic thinking. So you demonstrate competence at this point, and you demonstrate innovation. Oh, you notice that our growth rate dropped, and you were able to analyze the data, and you came out with some ideas that can help us to pivot or to scale up, maybe 3x or 4x or 5x or 5 times or 10 times. That speaks so much about you, that you're a strategic thinker and you really have the organization at heart. Remember? Okay, so let's look at the third quadrant, the team first mentality. Now, you could ask questions here like, what can I do to help our team move to the next level where we're supposed to be? When you ask questions like that, oh, they don't see interest, they don't see self in it, they see how you desire to support the team, how you want your team to succeed or to grow. Asking questions like, well, we set a goal for the first quarter. This was where we're supposed to be. Unfortunately, we have not been able to hit this goal that we had as a team. I really feel bad that we missed out hitting this target. I was just wondering, I'm a little bit curious. What can I do as an individual so we can cover this and double our effort to get this goal achieved in the second quarter? Why not double or triple or quadruple it? Mhm. You see, they're like, okay, you're intentional. You want to do something about this. That's so powerful. All right. So at this point, you're putting the group first, and the group interest is first before your own personal interest. That is a strategic way to communicate that you really care about this organization, and that attracts promotion. And finally, the fourth quadrant, the growth development. All right. So in the group, the growth development of the group or the team or the organization, there you're looking at a lot of strategic things. You're looking at, okay, in terms of growth, you found a course that could help you to be more productive and deliver better in what you're doing. And you purchase the course with your own expense, with your own finances, and you study the course, you validated the course, and you started applying the things you learn right in the office in executing your duties. That is very important. When you communicate that kind of information, your supervisors, they see that you're somebody who really want better result. Remember, we're on growth and development, right? So you've seen a course, probably a 2 weeks intensive workshop or retreat somewhere that can help you to analyze data better, to communicate better, to lead better, and you want to take permission, all right, even paid permission or unpaid permission out of your hours to go and take that course so that you can become more effective in what you're doing in your own department. That communicates so much about your ability to grow so you can perform better, so you can deliver higher, so you can be able to save the organization from chaos when it comes. So that is a game changer. So when you take into consideration leadership and ownership questions, you take into consideration in the second quarter the strategic thinking questions, and second to the last, team first mentality and growth development. When you ask questions, when you make contributions based on these four areas, you are bound to be promoted. Mhm. You're bound to be promoted no matter what happened. And so, my dear friend, that was it for Model 6. I hope you enjoyed it just like I did, sharing these thoughts and these ideas with you. And that's it for our amazing course, Executive Voice, strategic communication for career acceleration. I hope you're gonna make good use of this information that you just received, that it will help you to get the promotion, to get the growth that you've always desired in your career as a speaker, as a manager, or as a director. And so you'll be asking, where are we going from here? So from here, we are looking forward to you're going to report back by sending us an email to talk to Oliver Nshom that you're done with your course, with your courses, and then we'll schedule our Q&A session, questions and answer session, where we're going to meet in a weekend, and then we'll ask questions, and then your questions can be answered in a call where all of us from around the world will be joining together, so we can ask questions and get answers. And then moving forward. So that was it. Congratulations once again for going through the 6 modules of our amazing course. And we are so happy that you trusted us for this course. Okay. So thank you once again. Drop your comments right there as you study and listen on YouTube. You have a question as well, you can ask. You have any feedback to give to us, of course, on how we can improve the course and add more elements to it. Feel free to drop a comment on YouTube, and then we're going to have a look at it and then definitely work on that. My name is Nshom, and congratulations once again, and thank you so much for trusting us to buy this course and go through it. And we're looking forward to see you in our next program. Bye.